Well, hello there this week. We want to talk about Walt Disney World hotels. I'm going to get comfy here and we are going to dive right in. So Walt Disney World has 3 different hotel categories. They have the value hotels, the moderate hotels, and the deluxe hotels. We're going to start with the value resorts. This is my favorite resort category. It's where I stay most often. There are 5 resorts in this category: All-Star Music, All-Star Movies, All-Star Sports, those were the originals, Pop Century, and then its sister resort, Art of Animation. When you stay at a value resort, you'll walk in and you'll notice that the lobby is a very basic lobby. It's going to have a check-in desk. It is going to be wonderfully decorated to the theme of the hotel, and it's going to have a few benches to sit here or there while you're in the check-in, check-out process. Just off of the lobby, there's going to be a gift shop. The gift shops at the value resorts are fabulous. They're going to have all of the most popular merchandise from the parks. In addition, if you've forgotten something, like I usually forget my phone charger, you can pick one of those up there: sunblock, aspirin, that sort of thing. There's going to be one dining location, and that is also going to be right off of the lobby. It's going to be a cafeteria style setup. There will be like a little grab and go section of small things, bottled Cokes, milk, all of that kind of stuff. Kind of basic. You're not going to find anything like super fancy. It's going to be pizzas, chicken tenders. This is going to be a fabulous place if you want breakfast in the morning to pick up those Mickey waffles, that sort of thing. It is going to meet your needs. As you go on, let's say that you've checked in, we've checked out the lobby. Usually directly behind the lobby is going to be the main pool. The pool is going to be themed. I love the pool at All-Star Movies. It has Sorcerer Mickey from Fantasia, and he is presiding over the pool and standing up and directing. I love that. It's simple. It's nothing fancy, but the kids love it too because it's larger than life. They walk out and they're like, oh, it's Mickey. And all of the pools in the value resorts have this over-the-top character theming. There are multiple pools at the value resorts. So per resort, say that you're staying at All-Star, well, we'll say Pop Century, that's one I'm most familiar with. You're going to have the Hippy Dippy pool, which is their main pool. You're going to have the bowling pin pool, which is over in the 50s and 60s section. You're going to have it's like a little computer pool. That pool is boring. Back in the 80s and 90s sections. So the other pools, I mentioned that when you would first walk out of the lobby, you would come across the main pool. That is where all of the activities, pool activities, they have lifeguards, they have activities coordinators. That's where all of that takes place. These other pools that I mentioned are the quiet pools. Not that kids aren't allowed, but there's not music being played necessarily. There's not a lot of hubbub going on. So if you're looking for maybe a little bit more quiet, or maybe not quite as crowded or busy, those might be the pools for you. The rooms here, so these resorts, let me back up. All of the Disney resorts are broken up into multiple buildings. So you're going to check in at the lobby building, and then you're going to have to walk back to your actual hotel room. It's not like you just walk into the hotel and you go up 5 stories and there's your room. You're going to have to walk back to your building. So all of these resorts are made up of multiple buildings. These buildings are over the top with their theming at these value resorts. I'll insert a couple of pictures, but you can find everything from over at Art of Animation. They've got a Cars section, a Little Mermaid section, Finding Nemo, and these things are huge. I mean, way, way larger than life, and the kids just love it. So the rooms, when you get to them, have an outward facing door. and that they are very basic. They are currently remodeling these rooms. They have made it almost all the way through all of the value resorts, so that now when you walk in, you're going to have a pull down Murphy bed that's a queen size, and then you're going to have a regular queen size room. This is fabulous because these rooms are not super large. So being able to just kind of slide that bed up gives you a little bit more room in the mornings as you're getting ready, getting the kids ready. Under bed storage. The bathroom is basic. You're going to have the one vanity, and then you're going to have your toilet and your bathtub. There will be the H2O products that everybody raves about on the walls in there. And so that's kind of what you're getting at a value resort. Your complimentary transportation from the value resorts, if you're talking about the All-Stars, you're going to go back out to the lobby, and there will be a bus station. The buses will pull right up there. Everyone will go out, they'll get on the bus, and they'll take you to whichever park you're going to that day. At Pop Century and Art of Animation, there's a little bit of a difference because they sit on the Skyliner line. And so you will be able to take the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios and Epcot, and that is really, Disney has kind of cut down, and that is your only option for transportation, aside from like if you want to order an Uber or something. So I love the value resorts if you are going to be spending the majority of your days at the park. They sleep 4. Now if you have a larger family, I mentioned that our first trip was to All-Star Music. I have a family of 6. And I needed a place to stay. They have family suites. Family suites are located at the All-Star Music Resort as well as the Art of Animation Resort. I will warn you, the family suites at Art of Animation are expensive. I've never stayed in those family suites because they are cost prohibitive. I found the ones at All-Star Music much more affordable. So you're going to walk in and you're going to have a little living room area. It's going to have pretend like behind me you've got this little bar that's going to have a microwave, a mini fridge, a counter, that sort of thing. You're going to have a couch that will fold out. It's going to be a double, so you can put people there, your TV, and then over by, like if you're walking in and you go right to the right, you're going to have a little table area if you want to sit down. That table will pull down into another double bed. And then also you're going to have your standard bathroom right there. Next to the table area, to the left there, is going to be your, mom and dad's suite. So that's where that king size bed is going to be. So you can comfortably sleep 6 people here. It's kind of nice to have that little microwave. All of the rooms have a coffee maker in them. Speaking of which, coffee. And so I really like these resorts for their price. Like maybe just a little bit more room, a moderate resort is a good option. So let's talk about the moderate resorts. In this category, we are going to have Port Orleans Riverside, its sister resort, Port Orleans French Quarter. The favorite of the moderate resorts, Caribbean Beach Resort. My favorite, which is Coronado Springs Resort. And then you're going to have Fort Wilderness Cabins and Campgrounds. So we're going to talk about Fort Wilderness Cabins and Campgrounds first. The cabins are designed for 6. So you're going to walk in and you walk immediately into a living room. You've got a couch right here to your left that folds out. Then you've got a full kitchen at a moderate resort. I mean, full-size refrigerator, oven, sink, countertops, I mean everything. So that is a big advantage that you might want to think about. Just past that is a hallway with a bathroom to the left, and then you walk straight into a back bedroom that has a queen size bed and then a set of bunk beds on this side. So again, you can sleep 6 here. You've got that full size kitchen, which is amazing. The downfall to Fort Wilderness, and really all of the moderate resorts, but Fort Wilderness especially, is that it is gigantic. Most people who get a cabin also get a golf cart, because With Fort Wilderness, you've got what they call an internal bus loop. So you're going to have a bus stop, and a bus is going to come around, pick you up, take you to the very front of the resort, drop you off. You're going to pick up another bus to go to the theme parks. At the back of the resort, there is a boat launch, a ferry launch to take you to Magic Kingdom. So that is another transportation option. However, the fort is almost a vacation destination within itself. I mentioned that it was called Fort Wilderness and Campgrounds. You have to jump early, but you can get a campground. So if you want to pull an RV, if you want to take a tent, pop-up tent camper, they can accommodate all of that. Full service RV hookups. They have bathrooms that are very clean, have a lock on the door, like a code, pin pad entry into the restrooms. Super clean, super nice. This resort has everything imaginable. Up at the check-in, they have a little general store. So if you need to pick up a few supplies for the kitchen or whatever, it's there and available. They have the Trails into Restaurant, which has great food. It's a sit-down restaurant. You need to have reservations. I'm sure you can get walk-up, but it's kind of like a buffet and all you can eat. In the times of COVID, I haven't gone back to look to see if they are back to the buffet or if they are serving family style where they bring it all out to you. I have not checked that. They have a huge pool. It's called the Old Man Pool. With these moderate resorts, you are also going to get a water slide at your pool and a hot tub. They have, you can do a carriage ride around. Everyone loves doing that at Christmas and Halloween because these people who come and camp and bring their RVs do full, complete setups. So, I mean, if you want to go look at Christmas lights, this is the place to go. These people mean business, and the theming that these guests bring to the resort is amazing. They also have the stables here. You can do pony rides, all kinds of little things. At night, they'll do Movie Under the Stars. Every resort does Movie Under the Stars. At the campground, prior to Movie Under the Stars, they usually do like a campfire sing-along, and you can cook s'mores. Bring your own. They will sell you a package, but bring your own. So Fort Wilderness might be a fantastic option for you. Port Orleans Riverside, Port Orleans French Quarter are both smaller resorts, so that's nice. They do have the internal bus system and Coronado Springs. When I say internal bus system with these three resorts and Caribbean Beach, you have multiple bus stops outside of the buildings, and so the bus for the buses, whatever, they'll say across the front where they're going, and they'll just pull up to those stops. So if you're in the last stop, by the time the bus gets to you, it may be full. So that's kind of a pain. A couple solutions: book a preferred room that always guarantees that you'll be at the first bus stop, or in the morning just take the extra amount of time and walk across to the first bus stop, catch the bus that you want, and it will take you directly from that stop, or it'll make the loop and then go directly to the parks. So it's not making a loop, dropping you off somewhere else, changing a bus. It's not that. It just know that you're going to have multiple stops before you leave for the parks. Port Orleans Riverside and French Quarter, both of them have gift shops, the pools like we've talked about. The fun thing is that I'm going to get this wrong, Port Orleans Riverside, you get Yeehaw Bob. He is a staple of entertainment at Walt Disney World. He was furloughed. He is now back doing shows, and everyone loves him. He is, I've met him once. He is just so kind. He is energetic, and he puts on an amazing one-man show. You want to make sure that you're getting there early and he does it adjacent to one of the bars there at Port Orleans Riverside. So when you get into these moderate resorts, you've got multiple options for food options. So you've got usually a couple of lounges, bars, a sit-down restaurant. In some of the places you might have two, and then a grab-and-go and a cafeteria-style restaurant. So you have choices. My favorite moderate resort is going to be Coronado Springs. It was designed kind of for businessmen and travelers. It has a convention center attached. They just, I say recently, it's been a good little bit, built Grand Destino Tower, which is now the check-in for Coronado Springs. It is absolutely beautiful, themed after Walt Disney's relationship with Salvador Dali. The lobby here is beautiful. With these lobbies, there's plenty of place to sit down. So if you're checking in and your room isn't quite ready, or you've got to check out early, you can sit in that lobby. People watch, plenty of places to plug in your electronic devices, get those charged. At Grand Destino specifically, there's a bar right downstairs. In the mornings they do coffee and pastries, and then in the evenings they do cocktails, mocktails, that sort of thing. It is beautiful. Caribbean Beach is a fabulous resort. It has long been everyone's favorite resort. And the nice thing about it is that it sits on the Skyliner, so you can access Disney's Hollywood Studios and Epcot. It is actually the hub of the Skyliner. So when we talk about Pop Century and Art of Animation being on the Skyliner, you take the Skyliner to Caribbean Beach, switch lines, and then go to either Hollywood Studios or Epcot. Caribbean Beach is the hub, so you just walk up to that Skyliner and you choose. Are you going to Hollywood Studios or are you going to Epcot? And it's just a short little ride over there. It is not a hassle to change Skyliners lines, but just know that's where that happens. And those are all of your moderate resorts. So we're going to get into the deluxe resorts. I do not know why, but this is the largest hotel category that Disney offers. I don't know. It started with the original 3 deluxe resorts, the Contemporary, the Polynesian, and the Grand Floridian. The Polynesian is my favorite. These are all themed resorts, as you can guess. So the Polynesian is Poly, you know, the Polynesian Isles. It has Moana themed rooms. The Contemporary just got a refurb and now has Incredibles themed rooms. These restaurants are fabulous. You can usually find a character meal here. They usually have an additional table service sit-down restaurants. They're going to have a grab-and-go restaurant just where you can quickly order something and then leave. They're going to have a little general store. They're going to have usually a couple of different merchandise stores. So if you're a shopper, this is the place to go. These pools are heavily just themed. I mean, the one at the Poly has a volcano, so the pools are fabulous. They do also have additional quiet pools that are beautiful, water slides, hot tubs. I mean, everything that you could want. These are the largest of all of the rooms on property. They sleep 4. Let me go back just real quick and mention we talked about Fort Wilderness. At Caribbean Beach, you can get a 5th sleeper. So all of the rooms at the moderates, because Coronado Springs is a convention hotel, it has some suites, and then Caribbean Beach has some rooms that have a pull-down twin bed, so it can sleep 5. So going into the deluxe resorts, most of them will be able to accommodate 5. They'll have that pull-down sleeper under the TV. It's not meant for adults, but you can get a child on there. These rooms are the largest on property, and they sometimes come with views. These three specifically all will come with views of the Magic Kingdom if you would like to book that room category. So those are there. There's now one large walking path from these resorts to, you can't walk from the Contemporary to the Poly, but you can walk from the Poly through the Grand Floridian over to Magic Kingdom. It's a 10-minute walk from the Contemporary to Magic Kingdom. People absolutely love that. It's great if you're going to pop back in the afternoon, you've got a kid that needs a nap. It is fabulous for that. The food here is really good as well. I talked about the deluxe category has the most number of resorts. So if you go over, the way that Epcot and Hollywood Studios sit, there are 3 resorts over there. It's Boardwalk, Yacht Club, and Beach Club. The nice thing about these is that you can walk to both Epcot and Hollywood Studios, or you can walk to the Epcot International Gateway and catch the Skyliner to Hollywood Studios. I wouldn't do that. That takes a whole lot of time. They also have ferry boat access from these resorts to Epcot and Hollywood Studios. That's always a nice option. But I mean, honestly, it's about a 10-minute walk to Epcot and a 15-20 minute walk to Hollywood Studios. These are great resorts for that option. And again, you're going to find the same types of amenities here like I just described for the original 3 monorail resorts. Another deluxe resort that everyone absolutely loves is Animal Kingdom Lodge. It is out by Animal Kingdom. It does only offer bus service to everywhere, but it sits on a savannah. So you can go to the lobby and they have walking paths and you can see the animals, giraffes, zebras, or you can book a savannah view room, wake up in the morning, look out your window, and there are all of the animals right there. As deluxe resorts go, it does offer usually the most economical options. So if you want to try out a deluxe resort, that might be your way to go. And like I said, everybody loves it. And the kids love it. I mean, who doesn't want to wake up in the morning, go downstairs and see a giraffe? In that regard, it is absolutely fabulous. The lobby is just beautiful. So it really does have some great things going for it. Disney, I talked about the Disney Vacation Club was a part of all of these resorts. So it started with Old Key West and Saratoga Springs. Saratoga Springs has a walking path to Disney Springs. Both of these resorts are very spread out. At Saratoga Springs, you can stay in a tree house. A tree house, people. 3 bedrooms up in the trees. I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? So in addition to the deluxe hotels that we've already mentioned, there are 2 others. There is Wilderness Lodge. It is themed after the lodges of the national parks in the Great Northwest. And then the newest is the Riviera. The Riviera is themed after the Italian Riviera. The unique thing about the Riviera is that they have put in some studio rooms that are literally just a Murphy bed that you pull down. The rooms are teeny tiny. They are meant for 1 or 2 people who are only staying 2 or 3 nights. So this video has gone a little bit long. We've probably gone a little bit more in detail than what we actually needed to, or that you're actually interested in. Kudos to you if you lasted this long. If you are looking at planning a vacation, especially a vacation to Walt Disney World, I would tell you that you want to start booking that sooner rather than later. You can always reach out to me at Journeys by Jingle or jingle@kingdomdestinations.com. Regardless of who you choose to use, make sure that they are a Disney earmarked agency so that you are getting all of the knowledge of a Disney specialized travel advisor. Thank you for joining me this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week.